What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at this 22 ARC build. This is a build I just completed here recently within the last few weeks. If you guys aren't familiar with the 22 ARC or 22 ARC, it's a new cartridge that Hornady introduced in 2023. It has been around in Wildcat form for a little while, but it received SAMI specification in 2023, so it'll now be a mainstream cartridge. If you guys have been around the channel for a little while, then you know I do have a couple 6mm ARCs in the AR platform, and I really enjoy those. Really enjoy working loads up for them. They're very, very accurate guns, and I didn't expect the 22 ARC to be any different. I was really excited when they announced the 22 ARC. The 6mm ARC has been very, very popular, and I expect the 22 ARC to do just as well. If you're asking why do we need the 22 ARC, or what does it do that something else doesn't do, the purpose behind the cartridge is to shoot long, high BC, heavy bullets. Here's you a good look at the cartridge. Hopefully you can see that. As you can see, it's a short, fat cartridge. The cartridge case is based on the 6.5 Grendel, neck down to 22 caliber. So you get a fatter case than 5.56, and where the case is shortened a little bit, that means you can shoot these longer, heavier, high BC bullets up to 90, 95 grain. You can shoot those at respectable velocities, which means you get really good ballistics. Now you might be saying that sounds like 224 Valkyrie, and you'd almost be right. 224 Valkyrie really never caught on, really never saw any mainstream success, whereas you can already see the 22 ARC is going to be a pretty popular cartridge. The 224 Valkyrie also lags behind on ballistic wise behind the 22 ARC. Basically what you're getting with the 22 ARC is 22 250 performance in an AR-15 size platform. You don't have to step up to that AR-10 size platform and have a heavier gun, a more unwieldy gun. You get to stay within the AR-15 package, which is the same basic principle behind the 6mm ARC. So when this cartridge was announced, I was really excited, seeing what the capabilities are with this cartridge and being able to shoot those big heavy bullets, which is probably mostly what I'll shoot through mine, 75 grain and up. I've already got some 90 grain burgers and some 88 grain bullets to reload once I shoot this factory brass up. And I'll be doing some load development with those bullets and seeing what this gun likes the best. I really want to do a lot more coyote hunting this winter, and I think this platform here with this cartridge will be ideal for that. So now that you guys know the why, let's go over this build. We could just boil it down to another excuse to do a new build. You know, that's good enough. Good enough for me, right? Let's go over this build. This is a really cool build. I really like this build. I did build this gun from the ground up using stripped receivers, which is how I do most of my guns. I just like being able to ensure each and every component was installed correctly, done the right way. Not that I don't trust a manufacturer to do it correctly. It's just paying a manufacturer that you trust, that you know will do it correctly, usually relates to a very, very high cost gun. You're talking BCM, Daniel Defense, those type guns. I've been building these guns for over a decade, and I really take my time to make sure everything's done right, everything's done to the proper spec, and it gives me a real peace of mind, and I just enjoy putting them together. It's kind of like a man's Lego set, you know. Just a good time all the way around. If you haven't built your own AR, I highly suggest getting into it. Gives you an intimate knowledge of the platform. It's easier for you to find out what's wrong if something goes wrong and be able to fix it. So we'll start with the lower receiver on this build. This is a Arrow Precision M4E1. I really like Arrow Precision's M4E1 receivers. I think they're some of the best in the industry. People relate their affordable cost to somehow not being of good quality, and that's couldn't be farther from the truth. Arrow Precision makes some very, very nice receivers. They have a lot of experience making receivers. I've used many of them over the years. I've never had one out of spec. Not saying that they've never put one out that was out of spec. I'm sure every manufacturer has here and there, but I've never personally had a problem with Arrow Precision's receivers. Their M4E1 series in particularly, I like the look, I like the innovation on the receiver, and it's basically the same price as a mil spec receiver, but you get the built-in upgrades. Alright, branching off of this receiver, we're of course running the Magpul K2 grip here. Trigger is a Rise Armament iconic trigger, very, very nice trigger. This is another item that I was really looking forward to getting my hands on, looking at the specs. You guys that have been around the channel very long know I pretty much always run Geisley triggers in all my builds. When I seen the specs on this trigger, I was really excited to check it out, and it hasn't let me down at all. I really enjoy this trigger. I'll have a full video on this trigger coming out, so be sure to check that out. The Rise Armament Iconic is a 2-stage trigger. It has a very light 1 pound take up where you come up against the wall, and a very crisp icicle-like break at 2 pounds on the 2nd stage. And the reset is very short and crisp. Really nice high quality trigger all the way around. Highly recommend it for a precision type platform. It really helps you look like a better shooter. You can have a very accurate gun, but if you've got a horrible trigger, it makes it way harder to get that gun's potential out of it. A nice trigger doesn't make a gun more accurate. It makes you able to be more accurate shooting the gun. So this trigger definitely does that for me, and I'm really glad to have it in this build. The small parts in this lower receiver are just Arrow Precision. The safety selector is a Radian Talon. That's my go-to safety selector. I like the 45-degree angle, and the way that the levers actually attach, you don't have to worry about any screws backing out. Anytime I'm doing a build and I can get these, this is my go-to safety selector. The stock I'm running is the Arrow Precision PRS Lite. Now this is a precision oriented stock meant for more of a precision rifle, and it fills that role really well. Just like the PRS Lite has comb adjustment, length of pull adjustment. The difference between the PRS and the PRS Lite, instead of the knobs that are on the PRS, this just has some set screws that you loosen, adjust the comb height or the length of pull to where you want it, and then you tighten those set screws down, and that's it. You also get this cutout in the back that lightens up the stock a little bit, and I really like the look of the cutout there. I think it makes the gun look a little better. And you can run this stock on a carbine buffer tube or a A5 buffer tube. As you guys can see, I was kind of shooting for a 50 Shades of FDE look with this build, and I think I got there. We do have a few different shades of flat dark earth here. This upper receiver is a stripped upper receiver from BCM. They were running a sale on their stripped upper receivers. I picked one up. Of course, they come black, anodized black, so I spray painted this one with Rust-Oleum tan, so gives a nice offset here with Arrow Precision's flat dark earth here on the lower receiver. The bolt carrier I'm running is a Faxon 6.5 Grendel bolt carrier group. If you guys want to run any of the advanced rifle cartridges, either 6mm or 22 ARC, you will need to pick up a 6.5 Grendel size bolt. Now you can put that in any bolt carrier, but the bolt itself needs to be a 6.5 Grendel size bolt. I was needing the entire bolt carrier group, so I picked up the Faxon 6.5 Grendel Type 2 bolt carrier group, complete bolt carrier group. Everything looked real good on it. Has all the right specs that you would want in a bolt carrier group. And it also matches well with our barrel. The barrel we're running in this build is a Faxon 16-inch 22 ARC. This is their match barrel with their gunner profile. And I have seen really good results, surprisingly good results out of this barrel. I can't wait to get to hand loading to really wring out the most potential out of this barrel. I think it's really going to be shocking. So far I've been shooting just Hornady black factory rounds and seeing sub MOA groups, so that's always really nice to see. The muzzle device I'm running is Griffin's Paladin taper mount muzzle brake. Really nice muzzle brake. I run them in a lot of my builds. I usually shoot 95% of the time suppressed, but when you do shoot unsuppressed, if you're looking for the qualities that a muzzle brake provides, this muzzle brake does reduce recoil and does cut down on that muzzle jump. The suppressor I'm running is a Griffin Armament Recce 5K suppressor. I've got an entire video on this if you guys are interested in picking one up, or you just want to know what the specs are. That video will also tell you how to order a suppressor and have it delivered straight to your door without having to go through a gun shop. This suppressor sounds really good on this 16-inch 22 ARC. It's almost like this can was made for 22 ARC. It sounds really good. I'm running ARC Optics SH4J 6-24x50 scope. You guys know I really like ARC Optics when it comes to a precision platform. For the money, I think they're the best scopes on the market. I think you got a lot of value there for the money, and I've just had a really good experience with these scopes. The SH4J, the J in it denotes Japanese glass, so you pay just a little bit more over the base SH4 model. But you get that Japanese glass, and the glass is really nice in this scope. That optic's sitting in an ARC Optics 34mm mount. Not a whole lot to say about the mount. You know, it's a decent mount and it does the job. The charging handle is a Radian Raptor charging handle. This is the Raptor LT. The Radian Raptor is one of my go-to charging handles, especially the LT model. Of course, we're running a Magpul bad lever. The rail is a BCM MCMR 15-inch rail. This is BCM's M-Lock rail. Very nice rail. You'll see these on several of my builds. One of my favorite rails on the market. I love BCM's lockup system. They're rock solid. Never had a problem with them. And they're fairly lightweight rails. This is one of the most popular rails on the market, so they can be hard to find in stock sometimes, but well worth the money. They're priced right. Very high quality rail, very high quality, just like anything else you could get from Bravo Company, BCM. They make really nice stuff. Alright guys, enough blabbing on about this. I'll go ahead and roll in some shooting clips on this gun. Like I said, it shoots really well with this Faxon barrel. If you guys are interested in picking up any of these parts, be sure to look down in the description of this video or any of my videos. There'll be a link to my campsite page. You can go on my campsite page and I have links to many different manufacturers. A lot of those manufacturers, I have coupon codes. If there's a coupon code available for that manufacturer, it'll be in the title on the link, so you can't miss it. A lot of these places you can save money by shopping off my campsite page, and it helps out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Alright guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Be sure to leave a comment, let me know what you think about this build. Be sure to hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to catch us on the next video.